Hello everyone, and welcome to another One Piece manga read along. I just worked out with the help of the chat here in the live on Twitch when I will catch up with the manga as it's coming out now, right? So, just for interest's sake, I started the anime in March 2019 and I caught up in August 2022. So, it took me 3 years and 5 months to catch up with the anime. And then I worked out the current chapter is chapter 1060 and I am on 910. So that means I have 150 chapters to read before I'm caught up to where the manga is now. So it will take me at a pace of an average of 14 per month. It will take me 11 months to catch up to where we are now. But 3 new chapters on average will come out every month. That means by the time I catch up, 33 new chapters will have been released. So if you take that into account, it will take me a total of 15 months to catch up. Yeah, of course. I agree, Ruff's Revenge. Ruff says, I think if Oda just wants to retire after finishing the series, no one will blame him. But Moder said, he stated that he already knows what his next manga will be. I think at this point, Oda doesn't need to work. He could just write a quick ending and be done with it. But he obviously wouldn't do that. So for him to talk about having ideas for another manga, I feel like he wants to create manga. He probably will just take a big step back from having to create, like, I don't know. He will just maybe relax. But I don't think he'll ever retire, like not make manga, because he really loves what he does. I don't think you can create something as amazing as One Piece if you don't love what you do. But that is just speculation. He might say something completely different if you were to meet him and ask him these questions. Okay. So I'm going to obviously try and finish earlier. We should write down. I said it will take me 15 months on the 19th of the 9th month in 2022. So we should write that down, because I remember when I started One Piece back in March 2019, I was saying, like, I'm going to watch what was it in the beginning? 2 or 3 episodes per week? I don't remember, but it was not a lot. And then, eventually, as the pacing got a little bit dragged out, a little bit slower, I watched a little bit more. And then, I don't know, where was this around? Dressrosa? No. Yeah, maybe around Dressrosa, I started watching like 6 a week. So yeah, that would be cool. Raf says, on the bright side, before you are all caught up, you'll still have the smug feeling of being ahead of the anime in like 10 months. Still a lot. I would be concerned about his next one. Guy needs like 5 years off before anything after One Piece. Dark Shadow. Why? Oh my god. I think a bug flew into my throat. It's better than the freaking piece of popcorn being stuck in my nose because I almost choked because of that movie. Suddenly, like... See, that's why I can't watch horror movies. Like, I would die. People next door would think I'm dying. And then they'd come and call the freaking ambulance and the police and so many people. Okay, let's go, guys. We are starting on chapter 907, The Empty Throne. I'm not currently reading the cover stories because it's on 37 and I haven't read, the first part because I started at Reverie. And also a lot of people have been asked me last time, aren't you going to read the SBS? Aren't you going to read the SBS? The Shonen Jump app that I use on my iPad doesn't show the SBS. I do have a lot of the manga in like omnibuses, so 3 volumes in one book, manga book, and they have the SBS, but I don't have these current chapters. So I will have to come back to the SBSs at a different point. Maybe do like separate videos reading through SBSs or something at some point. Okay. I'm gonna turn off alerts. Thank you for the follow, Abe. But I'm gonna turn off the alerts just because people have tried to use alerts for spoiling in the past with Attack on Titan, but still, I don't want to risk it, so. Okay. We're starting here on Whole Cake Island. What kind of joke is that? I refuse. It's not you I want to do. I want anything to do with. If I don't take out Straw Hat myself, it's a permanent stain on my reputation. And he's got something of mine that needs to come back. And let's not forget, you still owe me big time, Kaido. That was in the past, but it's a lifelong bet. Or debt. I'm curious, what? I need to make a list of like, fuck, I have to make 100 lists. But here's a question that needs to take note. What debt does Kaido owe Big Mom? You know, what for? Like I feel like that would make an interesting backstory. Or side story. Anime, One Piece, The Prelude. I'm the one who's got a score to settle with that kid. If you come this way, I'll kill you, Lin Lin. I'd like to see you try. I'm just letting you know. Got that? Straw Hat's head is mine. Come on, let's just get along like old times. She does the face. I'm just recreating it. That makes me think of the stupid thing I saw on Twitter. It's just a girl doing that. But she's like committing to it. Period. Tell me you guys have seen it because it makes me... You know how every generation thinks that the children are lost? I get it now. Stupid thing on Twitter. Do I have to be more specific than period? That's what she does for like 3 minutes. Just that. Navy headquarters. Big Mom is on the move. She's going to make contact with Kaido. They were speaking on a call, right? Out in the open. So they don't care about being overheard? A challenge to stop us if you can, perhaps. What sort of force would we need to stop them? Admirals? Warlords of the sea? I know, Dark Shadow, but there's amazing artists on Twitter, and that's why I stay. I'm already off TikTok. I can't leave Twitter too. The art is too good. Shall I head out, Sakazuki? No, Borsellino. Remember, there's an unknown military force in Wano. The samurai, you mean? Red Port. Oh, come now, Garpy. They're both squabbling over your grandson, Straw Hat Luffy. Pfft, it's hilarious. It's no laughing matter. You're just going to sit back and watch as 2 of the 4 emperors meet? Why do you act like I have a choice in this? It's the Reverie right now. Any force capable of stopping them is dedicated to protecting the royalty. Pardon the interruption, ma'am, but this is Big Mom we're talking about. She's already taken all of that into account. What's Mr. Sakazuki saying? He said the land of Wano is not a member of the world government and is outside of our jurisdiction. Which is what I figured. Bah ha ha ha. Best not to get involved for now. But Garp, speaking of Big Mom and Kaido, isn't the reason you're considered a naval hero? Oh, you mean rocks? I'd have figured you were too young to know about that, Hina. Before Roger, it was their era. That's so crazy. Before Roger. And then Roger came and went, and they're still there, and they're still the strongest. Like, that's kind of crazy. But that was over 40 years ago. The past is the past. Jeez. So how old are they? Like 58, 55 to 58? Older? Is there like theorizing about that? Even without the captain, their strength is growing. Hina is worried. There's no point worrying. If they return, they'll be a threat. But events will find a way to surpass our imagination anyway. Why are you grinning? Pangaya Castle, Sacred Marihoa. Big Mom is 68. Jeez. She looks good for her age. She doesn't look good, but she looks good for her age. King Stelly of Goa, please make your oath. Huh? I get to sit there? Surely you jest, your majesty. No one is allowed to sit upon that throne. It is the empty throne. Empty, I'm so sure. I remember a little something from the anime, but vaguely. It is the empty throne. You see, the kings of the various nations are on equal standing. And therefore they each make an oath not to seek control over the others. The 20 weapons that guard the throne were placed there as an oath by the first 20 who created this world 800 years ago. The 20 weapons that guard the throne were placed there as an oath by the first 20. The first 20. Interesting. While the greatest authority in the world is the 5 elders, who are the most high-ranking of celestial dragons, there is no one king. Why did they make king in bold? Here. There is no one king of the entire world. It's one. One needs to be in bold. There is no one king of the entire world. And now, King Stelly, the oath. If I sit up there, I'll be king of the world. King Stelly? Oh man, I want to sit there. What a greedy bastard. You know, we feel inspired when we hear Luffy say, I want to be king of the pirates. Because his reasoning is just so pure. But him wanting to sit on the throne and thinking that would actually mean he's king of the world, oh, that's just fucking that face. I just want to punch it. Mingling Courtyard, Pangea Castle. Please stop, Saint Charles. That's right, put the chains on her. Why are you doing this? Please stop. Shirahoshi! Hang on. What do you think you're doing, Princess of Arabasta? Shirahoshi, no! Stop, Rebecca, they're celestial dragons. Look, even that guy, Wappo, looks kind of like shocked. So what? Let me go. Common sense doesn't apply to them. If you anger them, they could completely destroy Dressrosa. Shirahoshi! Nobody get involved. I got one. I got a huge mermaid. Now I will make her my pet. And then, obviously, she is crying. Oh, Dark Shadow says, since King was in bold, no one king, maybe there is a one queen. Yeah! Get her, slave number 3. Why is everyone watching this happen? He can't do this to our boss's friend. Leo! Damn it! No turning back now. We're gonna see ya, mermaid princess. Don't do it, Kano soldier. Someone stop him. His face. And then they get kicked and pushed aside by... yeah. Who are you people? I think some gratitude is in order first. CP0. Cypher, Paul, Aegis, 0. Rob, Lucci, Stassi, Kaku, and whoever that guy is in the background. I do not see his name. By intervening just now, we have saved a number of nations from disaster. Even children know not to cross the celestial dragons. They're not wrong. I hate that. The celestial dragons are the gods who created this world. All of these people here are the kings of the lower realm. It's the natural order for gods to have whatever they desire. That's right, you dubbies. Sai! Leo! That doesn't make logical sense. Gods are not bound by logic. Vivi-sama. Give back Shirahoshi. Shirahoshi. She's a friend. Shirahoshi. Yoahoshi. Stop, Princess of Arabasta. King Neptune. Thank you. I will not forget the kindness you have shown. But as painful as it is to admit, we must abandon our hopes. I will crush these words and return to the seafloor. In any case, if this is what the surface holds, then I cannot bring my people here. No, this isn't the surface. King Neptune, this is not humanity. Yeah, but that's what a lot of people do, hey? And understandably so, but also not understandably so. Like, it's difficult. You want to say, if you see enough people of a certain group do a certain bad thing, then you get, like, jaded, trauma from seeing those people. And then you hate them. Like, regardless of whether or not a specific person has done something to you, but, you know, you get it into your head, like, this human wanted to imprison my daughter, make her his slave. Now, all he sees, like, and he's heard all these bad things about humans, so now you want to say it's almost natural to then hate. Oh, thank you, Guashator. We were just talking about that earlier. Something in Gintama was really obvious, but it took me like 3 minutes before it clicked, and then luckily I wasn't spoiled by the chat, so I just like, what? It's always fun when that happens. But yeah, people building up negative feelings towards certain groups. But now the problem with that is it kind of perpetuates a bad system, because that's what happened here, right? So we saw how humanity, mainly the celestial dragons, treated the mer people. Then we saw Arlong, as a result, who hated people, treat innocent people that way. And so, like, that sets into motion a whole cycle of badness. And like you want to understand, because now people, mer people like Arlong did all these bad things to people from there, and then those people end up hating mer people also understandably because you know, mer people hate people hate mer people because of what they see, and then they make like that shit is complicated. And you can't tell someone, well, you deserve to be treated this way because of how some other people treated other mer people, or these mer people who are now hurting you. It doesn't take away from how bad they're hurting you just because other people hurt them. Does that make sense? And on top of that, then you get the Hodies who didn't even get hurt directly. They were just told about the hurt, and then they hate people based on that. And then it still gets perpetuated because who the fuck would have known what Hody would have done given it a little bit more time, or, you know. Okay. Forgive me, Otohime. Very soon we will be beneath the sun too. They dare challenge me, kill them. Oh, that was Otohime's flashback voice. Very soon we will be beneath the sun too. They dare challenge me, kill them, Sipido. Yes, sir. Fucking Lucci excited to get to murder people. Don't do this, great knight Neptune. Don't be hasty. We should find a way to overcome it together. If we did that, we might change the destiny of the children for the better. Don't do it, father. You mustn't hold hatred in your heart. And she says that as she is being almost forced into being a slave. Like, there aren't many people like that, and like her and Otohime. There aren't many people. Stop that, Charlos! Thwack! And enters the... Who the fuck? I forget this person. How did I forget someone this awesome? Smacks him across the face. Who was that? He hit a celestial dragon. I don't know, but I'm getting out of here, ya hippos. She might be a big crybaby, but we still love our giant mermaid princess. Forgive me for this embarrassing spectacle. As a fellow celestial dragon, I beg your forgiveness. And see, it's so easy to hate all the celestial dragons because almost every single one that we see is a fucking douchebag. But then we get people like Flamingo's dad and this guy, and you wonder to yourself, should they all be hated? Even if they're born into a place where they're literally... their life, literally by their standards, they're worth more than others. They see themselves... Like, all of them grew up here in the system. Like, they were almost brainwashed to believe that they were better. It's sad and frustrating. But then, you think about all the horrible things they do, most of them, or from what we've seen, and then you're like, I don't care that you were raised like this. I guess it also depends on the age, because after a certain age... your brain finishes developing, and then you're supposed to be able to think critically, and if you can't by then, you're not going to, so then... Sorry, no, not delinquent jail for you, real jail. Forever. Not all of them deserve the title, Celestial Dickhead. I guess so. Forgive me for this embarrassing spectacle. As a fellow Celestial Dragon, I beg your forgiveness. A celestial dragon? Unhand that princess, you fool! I apologize, everyone. This clown... Clown, I almost called him a cloud. This clown has injected fear into an occasion for socializing and good cheer. You may have forgotten me already. Oh, it's that guy. I forgot. You may have forgotten me already, Neptune. But in fact, I owe the Ryugu kingdom a great personal debt. So he was once the same as this guy. Maybe not as dumb. But yeah, he was once basically the same, but then because of Otohime's godly kindness and understanding, he was able to change. You may blah blah, but in fact, I owe the Ryugu kingdom. I have been waiting the day of your arrival for so very long. Are you? I am the dunce of a celestial dragon who washed into your realm 10 long years ago. Save my life, you fools. It was the speech of the late Queen Otohime that gave me my humanity. World noble, celestial dragon, Saint Dawn. Did I realize this? Isom Impact. Did you change your name again? Because now it makes me think of Genshin Impact, and also thank you for the sub. Darkness and Mother says I did, but now it's like I completely forgot, and I'm shocked all over again that he is the family of Mingo. Whoa, you didn't think of Genshin. Isom Impact. Well, it sounds to me like Genshin, but also Isom, so. We are reading One Piece manga, by the way. Very good content. Goat, peak. No one saw this twist coming. Maybe one day we can read the Isom comics. Epic Rippaverse content. We can make it. Okay, so it was the speech of the late Queen Otohime that gave me my humanity. I want to put my entire power at your disposal. The whole of power. Pangea Castle. What do you want? Then let's hear what you have to say. Guards, leave us. Hopefully, Eric will make his content available online, like this is an app where I can read many chapters, and I just pay monthly for the app. So hopefully Eric will one day have something like that. Okay, so what do you want in the Hall of Power, Pangea Castle? Then let's hear what you have to say. Guards, leave us. What? Oh, it's like this. It's one, sorry, it was one thing, but it was split like this. Okay. What do you want? Why would you come all this way? This is the Reverie. Given your standing, you should have nothing to do with politics. We only arranged this time on your request, and I appreciate that. Then let's hear what you have to say. Guards, leave us. Yes, sir. There's a pirate I need to talk to you about. Dun dun dun! Who is the pirate that he needs to talk to him about? Them about? Dave, you should tweet Eric and tell him one day if he has enough comics he should have an app. I would pay. Okay, so Shanks, there's a pirate I need to talk to you about. Like, your first assumption is that he means Luffy. But that's exactly why I feel like Oda does not mean Luffy. But maybe Oda knew we'd think that, and then he did mean Luffy. So Oda's like, so it's like a reverse mind game. Ruff's Revenge thinks it's Foxy. Also possible. My money is on the future Pirate King, Buggy. It's either Luffy, Blackbeard, Kaido. If I had to choose one, I'm saying maybe Blackbeard. Because he's dangerous. He's really dangerous. My first guess would be Luffy, but that's why I think it's not Luffy. So maybe it's Blackbeard. But it's Shanks, so it has to be connected to Luffy. Oh, confusing. Okay, next chapter. 908. Yes, Dave, you heard that right. This manga has 908 chapters. And at least 800 of them are very good. Hi, Booch. We are currently on chapter 908. The Reverie begins. At Pangaya Castle, the crowds really cleared out. Well, after the uproar that happened, how do you feel now, Shiwa Hoshi? Okay, that time I read it wrong again, but it kind of, she talks cute, so Shiwa Hoshi is fine. Anaisha, thank you for the sub. Wait. Cool. Thanks, Dave. That makes it really helpful for people that maybe can't, because the shipping to South Africa and stuff. I would love to own physical copies, but it would be cool to be able to subscribe monthly and read digital copies too. But I don't know, that might cause issues with like leaking. But yeah, he can at least consider it maybe. The bruise has completely vanished. Thank you ever so much, Miss Lady Mancheri. Your power is lovely. This must be a meeting of the world's largest princess and the world's smallest princess, both at once. Yeah. I'm sorry for being scared at first. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop with the baby speech. They don't talk like babies, do they? Did they? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes Japanese, like, I don't hear different Japanese accents, so. Oh, that's gonna be cool. I can't wait to see it, Dave. Some are bad and some are good. That would be the same way it is among fishmen. You have saved me from giving it all up for lost, Mjosgard. I will stay at Princess Shirahoshi's side for the week of the summit. I'm just glad that my station at birth is finally helping someone for once. We were just talking about this during the Joker reaction, right? So I watched the movie Joker, and obviously I had some thoughts on things. And I was saying, like, I was comparing a lot of people to how things work in nature. Yes, the Joker, the 2019 version. So I was comparing like a lot of stuff, like, okay, this is how it works in nature, and we see the same kind of similarities in humans, but we have like higher intelligence in the sense that we can think critically and all these things and question ourselves. So we've created for ourselves societies, which obviously often certain people take advantage of that, and they become bad and yada yada yada. But anyway, I was talking about how I do think that I do think to some extent that people everyone has a role, right? In a more transcendent way. Like, some of us want to play music, some of us want to bake, some of us love law, like Cherry is studying law, and we all and obviously that's great that we're different because it means we'll fulfill different roles in a society, right? But in order to manage people, you need leaders. You need people that can operate on a different plane, in the sense that like we have the in here we have good leaders and we have bad leaders. We have VVs and we have Wapols, you know. And we did talk about this last time, where some people thought that Oda's criticism was rich people are bad, but I don't think that's ever a criticism, that Oda is so against grouping everyone together and saying that group is bad. Like, his whole message is against that. You can look at any group of people and you can find good people and bad people. But anyway, so I was thinking about the movie and stuff, and you know how if you have leaders, imagine how difficult it must be for a leader. Like, you have to take care of thousands of people, and those people have different beliefs, different, so many differences, right? And let's say two people, they both want a certain thing. They just want to be treated with respect. But now, what means respect for this person is different than for this person. This person believes I have freedom is this and this, and this person believes freedom is this and that. So like, leaders have to manage like all these different and solve all these different problems. And when you solve a problem, it creates another issue and you have to think ahead. And that's why I think leaders need to be like really, really smart and good. And the problem is, very often you get good people that go into positions of power and then get corrupted by the power, or people are already corrupt and they gravitate towards positions of power because they know that this is where they can do the biggest amount of bad because they're bad people already. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Sometimes it's good people getting bad. Sometimes it's bad people getting good. Like this guy, but he was helped to be good by Otohime. But anyway, yeah, I was just talking about how you do need these leaders. And then they need to, in a symbolic way, they're going to be above. Mentally, they're going to be above someone like me that likes to have online discussions like, this is my world, this is what I want to do. But obviously, you're going to have fucking, for lack of a better example, just like the Elon Musks of the world that literally is thinking about space travel. Like, I don't give a fuck about space, but what if the Earth one day, there's the Big Bang, not the Big Bang, but like the Ice Age and stuff. And then the only reason humanity survives is because Elon can take some people to space. Like, what I'm trying to say is, not that Elon is perfect or anything, but that people are different, And it's just interesting to see how all these people together make up a society, and how difficult it is to manage that society. To the fact that we have societies that function relatively fine, in the West at least, is actually crazy. The fact that we don't descend into chaos every day and become like the animals, I feel like that's crazy. Because yes, things are pretty shit. I'm from South Africa. We're apparently the third most dangerous country in the world. So I know that many places we're pretty much a shit, but I'm surprised it's not worse in more places in the world. I don't know. Everything it's like the whole balance hangs on a thread. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we should be satisfied with that. It could be so much better. But sometimes we need to take a step back and realize that, hey, it could be worse. Let's work with what we've got. I don't know. And that's exactly what sometimes Oda addresses. That's what I love about One Piece and the fact that it's so long, because it addresses everything. You get the rebel armies that change a country like this. Then you get a guy like, what's his name? This guy, the nice celestial dragon, where one heart is changed, and it's a slow process of change. It happens, because sometimes when when things change overnight, when you have a whole fucking revolution, a lot of people get hurt in that moment. And like I said before, sometimes one bad system is turned on its head and just replaced by another bad system. The next bad guy who took an opportunity. Game of Thrones, chaos is the ladder. There's too much shit. It's crazy. Okay. I just like that One Piece addresses everything. I love it. Okay, let's start from the top. So some are bad and some are good. That would be the same way it is among fishmen. You have saved me from giving it all up for lost, Mjosgard. I will stay at the Princess Shirahoshi's side for the week of the summit. I'm just glad that my station at birth is finally helping someone for once. You mean, if you say the order, we can beat up anyone we want? Yes, I will gladly take responsibility for any fight undertaken to protect the princess and her companions. I'm sorry, Vivi. I'm so sorry, Princess Vivi. I should have been at your side. Oh, Pell, where's Papa? She looks like... Oh, Pell. Like, it's you. He went with Admiral Fujitora, the one who sent that letter, to have a discussion with King Riku of Dressrosa. Dark Shadow asked, what did Hanku put in those noodles? But actually, that is my mind all the time. I'm just holding back mostly. To not sound crazy. Meanwhile, outside of the front gate of Pangaea Castle, there are 3 gates, each with their own layer of security. The Celestial Dragon Gate. Okay. Queen Dowager of Sorbet Kingdom, Connie. Wait, Queen? The fuck? So she didn't just change to sneak in. She is actually the ruler of a queendom, and she changes to go pirating. Did I not realize? Am I only realizing this now, or did I forget? Because I do remember seeing her as a little grandma, but I thought she just snuck in. This is the first time I'm seeing Queen Dowager of Sorbet Kingdom, Connie. What? And then, didn't the Blackbeard catch her and leave her for dead? Okay, but that was in the past. So she obviously... I don't remember what happened after that. Do you guys remember that? We saw Blackbeard caught her and leave her for the Marines, right? We didn't see what happened after that, did we? Or when did that happen after this? Because now, timeline-wise, I'm in the past. In the anime, I'm in the forward. We didn't see what happened after Blackbeard left. But when did it happen? Before or after we see her here? What chapter was that, in other words? We just know it was during the time skip. It happened after Marineford. So before this. Raf says, no way. Big news for Kayla. We just know Akainu took her in before the time skip. So presumably she escaped him. Presumably. Man, I'm so glad when people don't point shit out to me that I missed so that I can discover it myself later. It reminds me of the Joker movie. Oh, who's this kid? He's so dumb. Why is he just standing there? Sorry. well, if it isn't the Sorbet Kingdoms. ... This is Celestial Dragon Gate. Queen Dowager Connie, beyond this gate is the land of the gods. You cannot pass, I'm afraid. It's dangerous to be here. Please return to the castle. It hurts. Oh, that Mjosgard. I'll get him. Please, St. Charles, be calm. It will upset your wounds. You haven't heard the last of me. What in the world has happened? Open the gate. St. Charles has been injured. He requires immediate medical assistance. Rattle, rattle, rattle. Oh, Charles, are you safe, my boy? I heard there was an incident and I came to get you. Sorry, he has a mustache. Saint Rosward. What's happened to you? Oh, my beloved son. Huh? Where did the Queen Dowager? She snuck in like a fucking ninja, but she had a scary face while doing it. I sent that in the Niji chat when I was watching. It was the funniest thing ever. Whoa, here it comes, the moment. That Don Quixote, I forgot how to say it. That Mjosgard is a real crank. A celestial dragon without a single slave. Between him and Homing, who lived for the lower world 30 years ago, the entire Don Quixote, can please someone remind me how to pronounce that? The clan is a mad bunch. Oh, father, you have the invincible slave, Kuba. Indeed I do. It's finally my turn on the rental list. The fuck? Warlord of the Sea, a former revolutionary officer and former king of the Sorbet Kingdom? The fuck? This was in the anime? Are you sure? There's too much going on during these episodes. I claim I don't know what the word is, but like innocence. Former king of the Sorbet Kingdom? There was too much going on in these how many the Reverie was how many episodes? Yeah, we have to rewatch the whole series. Holy mother effing, we see you play Genshin. We know how you forget what you read all the time. But I don't think I forgot this. I don't remember. I mean, even now, like, when I read something and I forget it and I read it again, I'm like, oh. But now this, I don't remember reading it and forgetting it. I just don't remember it. So I wasn't reading. I was, like, probably just looking at everything else. Like, there's a lot to read in One Piece, okay? Especially during the Reverie. Like, there's so many mind blows that you see. You miss some, I guess. Should we find these episodes to see? No. I think you watched it. I guess my brain assumed I know who he is. I don't need a recap. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I didn't read the subtext that had some new information. No, I don't want to see my reactions. I'm good. I have to try and read 5 chapters today. I don't want to take 15 months to catch up with this. Hit him if you want. Stab him if you want. I didn't think I'd run across him right in the open like that. Well, I made it inside. You'll pay. I swear it. Worst generation pirate. Captain of the Bonnie Pirates. Jewelry Bonnie. He's the finest possible slave. One that doesn't even scream. I swear it. I'm dying of envy, father. I'm actually dying. So, if she's the queen, the current queen, and he was the former king. By the way, I found out today, and I kind of knew it before, but I never really thought about it. But I found out today that Japan still has like an emperor and stuff, but they're mostly symbolic. But the emperor line, they're apparently like the oldest, the empire or kingdom, in other words, with the oldest history, or the history that goes the furthest back. So that's really, really cool. I learned that, and Tama and Yuki told me that he's now 50, his daughter is 20, he doesn't have a son, but he has a younger brother who has sons. So apparently, like, I don't know, we were talking about a bunch of stuff, like Queen Elizabeth, may she rest in peace, didn't have to be the queen. Her uncle said no, and then she took on the responsibility at that time, I guess. So we were talking about how now Japan's emperor has always been a man, and now there's kind of like rumors or controversy about if something were to happen to the emperor, would they have their first empress after the longest history of always having, an emperor? Would they change that? Or would it first go to his brother and then to her? Like, I don't really know how these things work in general, because with Queen Elizabeth, it was supposed to go to her uncle first, so that seems like the norm. But he declined. I don't know why. Did he want to marry someone? I forget. So she then took it over. So could the same thing happen? But it's all just blah blah blah. We don't know, because he's still alive, the emperor, and he's 50 or something. So shouldn't be a problem anytime soon. But it's just very interesting. Especially, when you're reading about One Piece and all these kings and queens and the world government and I read something about princes from Japan, like giving up royalty to marry someone. Was that from Japan? He wanted to marry someone that he wouldn't be allowed to if he was the king. Check the reaction. Seems like you knew about Bonnie but missed the bit about Kuma. I do not remember. I think, okay, with the thing about Kuma, I missed that. But the thing about Bonnie, there was just too much new information. Not everything sunk in. Crazy. Fairly recently, the Japanese princess wanted to marry a commoner and gave up her title. But they didn't tell me that. I was talking to Tama and Yuki earlier about this. If she gave up her title, then it would have to go to the brother and his sons, right? Interesting. But anyway. So, meanwhile, stop raging like that, Sabo. Ew, you boys get so scary. Stop raging? How can I not? Look what's being done to our nakama, to our kind-hearted Kuma. I know, we all feel the same way. We're not gonna leave poor Kuma in that state. Is it too cramped? Do you need more space? It's the reason we're here. The problem is, just freeing him won't return him to the Kuma of old. What smile? Oh, Kuma smile. But Kuma's been victimized by the world government his entire life. What does that mean, victimized? Like made into a victim? Kuma's been victimized by the world government his entire life. So I'm assuming that means that they made him a victim of their bad stuff. They're doing bad things to him, clearly. But not just now, they've always. So I'm curious about, since he was the king of the Sorbet kingdom, I'm so curious about how did they even then make him a victim? How did they do bad things to him? Like what happened? So I'm just changing my title. I forgot to do that. It's because he was the king of an allied nation that they used Kuma as an example. That even the hardiest man will turn out like this if he should defy the gods. Oh. And see, that's another bad thing. It's like, it's difficult to do the right thing when they do shit like that, right? You can have 5 people in power with a crazy strong army, right? So even if they're a small group, they have a very strong army. And even if there are hundreds of thousands of people, when they make examples of a few, the rest will just keep their head down. So that's why change and being a good person when bad people are in power is so difficult. Like yeah. Because what about, they could do this to you. They could do this to your family. Like, even the hardiest man will turn out like this if he should defy the gods. The celestial dragons have CP0 and Navy HQ on their side. If we screw up and get caught, no, we're not getting caught. We either succeed or we die. Vert says, Oh, English translator. Vert was replying to Elizabeth. Okay, the day of the Reverie. As a brief reminder, the seas of the world are split into 4 parts by the red line, the looming continental wall, and the dangerous Grand Line stretch of sea of which Luffy's crew is voyaging the portion known as the New World. The Grand Line is there. Where? East blue, north blue, south blue, west blue. Sacred Marie Joie is here. There is Dark Land. The New World is that band around the earth. In ancient Rome, when the Romans made peace with a tribe or made them allies, they would literally demand family members as hostages in order to force compliance on those deals. That's nice. That would be nice if, like, it's a Romeo and Juliet situation where the kids fell in love and they were like, we have your daughter. Just saying, she's happy and married, but cross us and you'll die. But that's why marriage was used as a tool in order to, back in the day, right? Marriage was used as a tool in order to foster good relationships between nations, I think. I don't know. The world government is a massive organization made up of the majority of the world's nations, numbering 170 in total. Of those nations, 50 chosen monarchs gather. Why only 50? What about the other 120? Fast mathematics in my head. I'm so smart. Am I correct though? 170 minus 50. Yes, 120. Not enough chairs. Once every 4 years, here in the Holy Land, for a grand meeting that is known to all as the ... The nation of Wano doesn't participate in the government. It's practically a lawless land. Practically lawless, because they don't operate within your laws. Can we be sure it even counts as a nation? We need money. The Navy doesn't run on thin air. First, the attempt on Big Mom's life, and now Kaido is next. Trouble seems to follow him around wherever he goes. The Straw Hat Luffy. You're telling me? What's so funny, Prudence? The position of chairman rotates. Luffy. Who is it this? Is this Abraham Lincoln? Why did he think the name Luffy in his head? Sal says, that was common further back in Persian and before times, and into medieval times. The hostage would often get education in the court of the captor and be raised to be the intermediary between them later, or kill them if the tribe misbehave, like Theon in Game of Thrones. Oh wait, there's Abraham Lincoln. Oh! From the side! I don't know. They look very similar from the side. All white people look the same. Don't you know that? I'm joking. From the side, I don't know. Luffy. Okay, so that's obviously Vivi's dad. There's Abraham Lincoln. They have the same nose. Except that Abraham Lincoln has a red nose. And a hat with stars. Not been a good night for poor Kaila's memory. That makes me think of tonight. I was out with Tama and Yuki. We had dinner and drinks. And then a guy came walking past and he was drunk. Like, cannot walk straight drunk. And we heard him say something and we were like, yeah, he's not from South Africa. And Yuki was like, how can you tell? And then we were saying, no, but his accent. It's because of his accent. It's not his, how he looks. And then she just said, because to her, she can tell if someone is from China or from Japan, like she can tell stuff like that. She was just wondering if we could also tell. I thought it was funny. My esteemed fellow monarchs. Wait. Let's start again from not Abraham Lincoln. The position of chairman rotates. Who is it this time? It's me. Greetings, everyone. Bollywood, eh? Salutations. What guy's hat? This should go quickly. Even with 7 days, there's no end of topics to discuss. My esteemed fellow monarchs, let us commence. What monarchs? Shut up! This is not a word I've ever learned to have to say. Fuck. They are moaning about things happening in the world and needing more money, even though they have a lot. Monarchs was a pun. I'm actually brilliant. Oh, spat out my water. Monarchs. Dolores, I used to read as Dolores. So this is not as bad, honestly. My esteemed fellow monarchs. Because that makes sense. It does, because it's an O and not an O. I can't ever unhear now. Monarchs. Let us commence with the discussion about this beautiful world of ours. World government, world meeting, reverie. Yeah, English isn't my first language. I am Afrikaans. Excuse me. I claim innocence again. English vowels never make sense anyway. I before E, except after C. Except that's not true. There are many I's before E's except after C's. Besides, you know what I'm saying. I'm joking. I don't know if that's weird. C, E before I. No C. One example. English. You make no sense. No, I'm joking. Most languages are... I like these videos about French and how French is really weird. Not weird, but complicated. Funny. Ver. And then Chinese. Ma. Except as in A, as in neighbor and way. Except when it's not. There is like... I remember when I was learning Chinese, there was like ma. It's like horse, mother, many other, like there's like 3-4 meanings. But because there's different ways to say M-A. But depending on the intonation. Yes, I had Chinese. Actually, I had Mandarin for 2 years in university. We even had to learn the symbols. But in the 1 year, out the other. Horse mother. Daenerys? I was learning like a parrot. So if you don't get actual practice and you keep it up, you're gonna forget. Parrot learning things it never will last in your head. English is a language that lurks in dark alleys, beats up other languages, and rifles through their pockets for spare vocabulary. And yet, thanks to it, I can speak to all of you. And we are from different countries. I can speak to Tama and Yuki, who are Japanese. I can speak to Tiago. I can speak to Dark Shadow. You are from... Most of the time you can. Shut up. Okay. Thanks for learning my language, everyone. I wasn't going to bother to learn yours. That's why I always liked English when I was younger. I remember a teacher when I was in 7th grade. You are from Scotland. Ireland. They're the same place. I said Ireland first. I said it first. Speak Chinese. The only thing I can say is 你好，我的名字是 Kayla. 不知道. It's Germanic language with Latin and French blended, so it's not always consistent. Do you speak any Spanish? Hola. ¿Cómo está? Muy bien. Linda! Did I get it right? I'm from South Africa. Guacamole! I did have nachos earlier. Oh, don't say that. It will start another war with the Isles until you remind them that England exists and they both hate English more than life itself. Yeah, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I didn't mean any offense. I have trouble remembering Ireland and Scotland. Ireland, 4-leaf clovers, Scotland, sheep. Is that racist? Do you know Kurdish? No. That just makes me think of lemon curd. I feel like I'm getting myself into trouble. Let's just keep reading the manga, please. So, the meeting has begun. They say that Cobra, king of Arabasta, desires an audience with us. 800 years ago, the Nefertari dynasty was the sole bloodline of the first 20 to remain in the lower realm. That I remember. In other words, they are traitors. Uragirimono. Has he cottoned onto something? Let us pray it does not derail the talks. Especially with this discussion of Big Mom and Kaido. It has been 2 years since the Paramount War, and the roiling will not cease. Roiling? What does that mean? The world's equilibrium cannot be maintained forever. The time has come for a great cleansing. Oh my god, it's the great fucking reset. Buckle up, folks! Chambers of Flowers, Pangaea Castle. Great Emu, they have arrived. Emu? I remember this vaguely. The person that sits on the empty throne. Cue the rumbling theme song. I just think about dun 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 dun, like the opening song. I didn't know the rumbling specifically had the theme song, but did you mean the opening song? Because that's, yes, cue that. Okay, so Emu. I think I have to look very careful here. So first he says the time has come for a great cleansing. I just want to tweet this. But then I'm scared of spoilers, so I feel like I should turn off replies. I literally just want to tweet that picture with like with just like little eye emojis. Elizabeth, if you have time, please warn me about any replies. I will just not check my replies for 2 or so days. I just need that tweet. Sorry. There's my tweet. Okay. So now let's be careful. So we see a hand with a butterfly. The butterfly is not sitting on the hand. We didn't see. So butterflies generally symbolize freedom, right? Yes. Anything flying usually symbolizes freedom. Okay, but the butterfly is not sitting on its hand, but it's implied that the butterfly may have been sitting on his hand. So, and if a butterfly is sitting on someone's hand, they're a very calm, serene person. Where am I reading this? There's a butterfly here. This one. Okay, so then the person with this very long hat, I guess, is in the Chamber of Flowers. And someone on their knees is I'm explaining because I think this is very important and I have to understand it, because clearly when I watched this the first time, things didn't sink in. They have arrived. And then we see the Dementor walk away. I will now refer to this person as the Dementor. I'm joking. Emu And there are pictures of Blackbeard, Luffy, and Shirahoshi, and they're cut up and stabbed. There's also a picture of Vivi, but as far as I can tell, he's still holding that picture. I don't know, maybe it's a her, but for just easiness sake, I'm assuming it's a he. Why do I associate? Because the 5 great elders, they're all guys. You know, when you have to have a period once a month and go through that kind of pain, it kind of inhibits your ability to take over the world and be an evil bad guy. I am joking. But I'm just going to assume this is a guy. And so he holds Vivi's pictures in his hand with just dots, looking at it like, why? Is he saving it for later to also stab? Or does he like her? Oh, because Vivi might be related to him because they were part of, the 20 families were separate families and the Vivi's Nefertari's left. Maybe he's in love. Maybe he wants to make her his queen. And then in the end, there's going to be an epic battle. And then Vivi is going to be saved by Luffy again. And then they're going to end up together. Not really. They're not going to end up together. I have lost all hope. No, I have lost 95% of hope. 96%. Okay, so then he walks up the great flight of stairs. Vivi x Luffy x Emu. No, Luffy x Vivi x Emu. Vivi is in the middle. Not Luffy. Luffy's cut up. Okay. Emu walks. Oh, great Emu. Then the 5 elders, the literal gods of the celestial dragons who are the gods of everyone, bow down to Emu. That's huge. The 5 elders are at your service. Have you decided upon another light to be erased from history? Simply state the name you wished stricken. A light? Another light you wish to be... Oh, Phoebe! He wants to kill Phoebe? Eren Yeager. No, if it was Eren, he would just say kill everyone. If it was Eren, there would not be the rest of the world. There would be just the celestial dragons. Sorry, that was a joke. Shit. Okay, chapter 909, Seppuku. If it were Eren, he'd have no other choice. Look at Emu's eyes. He has the Rinnegan. But please remember, if I don't take note of something, don't tell me to take note of something, because that takes away from my surprise later, I think. Oh, you're just saying it so that I make the joke? Oh. No. Okay, wait. 909. Seppuku. You can't believe how good the cat viper is. Nekomamushi no tanani. When it comes to sailing the seas, of course he was good enough to ride on the Pirate King's ship. Oh, I missed a comma. So, how long are we supposed to wait at these ruins? Until he comes back with Marco the Phoenix. He wanted you, Gara, to wait here because you look too scary. Is Marco really the kind of guy my face is gonna scare off? I'm talking about the village, fool. Don't go over there. A Marco the Phoenix refresher. The all-powerful Whitebeard pirates lost their captain in the Paramount War 2 years ago, and his right-hand man was Marco. After the loss of their pops, the remainder of the crew waged war against Blackbeard to avenge their captain, but it was in vain. They are now scattered far and wide, to parts unknown. Apparently, on the other side of the cave, behind those falls, there's a peaceful little village. It's not a place for a group of big, scary warriors to march through. Good point. But the boss looks scarier than we do, if he gets mad. But his smile is cute. Very true. Grah! There, all fixed up. You're good to go. But don't be reckless. My regenerating flames only have a small effect on others. I've patched you up, and your natural healing speed should be faster now. You can leap off that leg by tomorrow. Yay, Marco's magic! You're so lucky, Tama. Grah! I said tomorrow. Stop leaping. Thank you, Marco. Yeah. Marco, my back hurts again. It's my knee, Marco dear. My little brother's playing pranks, Marco. Pops built this village. Old, Whitebeard Shirohige Oyaji. Right? Look at the baby. What do you mean? Countries that can't join the world government because they're too poor to pay the heavenly tribute tend to be lawless islands and, by and large, suffering from pirates and slavers run amok. When the country collapses, it creates a fresh generation of orphans, and Pops was one of them. He went to sea at a young age and became a pirate, but he always cared for this place and secretly pumped dirty money and supplies into it all throughout his life. He never had a family, and his old friends are gone, but this island will always be his home. In a dirty world, there's no good or bad money. It's just money. Thanks for saying that. After the Paramount War, we at least wanted to protect this village Pops had cared for so much. When the Blackbeard invaded, we started the Grudge War against him. But with Pops's power at his command, we couldn't overcome Teach anymore. He took everything. Oh, how I wanted to make that ingrate pay. It's interesting to me, the message here, because you get these, first of all, there's the theme of, or not theme, but there's the part about these lawless islands that can't afford to be part of the world government that gets, left behind. Which, fair enough, the world government has its hands full trying to manage the islands that are in, but obviously we know it's not just that, because the tribute that does get paid, it doesn't get used properly to help people. It's like our country. We pay so much taxes, and I'd be fine with that if the taxes were used to actually improve the country and help the people, but that doesn't happen. Anyway, so that's one part. But now, these outside little villages or countries or whatever, a Whitebeard is from there. And that's why maybe he was a more robust kid that could actually make it there. And if you can make it there, you can make it on the seas. So then he built a home for kids on the sea, and he kind of became their father, right? But here's the part that's interesting to me, especially interesting. One of the kids that he took in ended up being the one that killed him. One of the people that he was helping, that probably wouldn't be where they are without him, was the one that killed him. That's fucked up, man. If that can be true for an individual who created a pirate crew, where, the pirate, he was so good and he created this pirate crew where they were family and they were taking care of each other. And one guy fucked all of that up. If that can be true for what one individual created, imagine a country that is founded on strong principles, blah, blah, blah. 1 or 2 generations, traitors galore, people that don't appreciate what they've been given, don't continue that, what they've been taught. That's why, like, there's no, we're going to figure things out and the world's going to be perfect and world peace and blah, blah, blah. Even if one generation does figure it out, it won't last. That's the sad part. That's why at the end of the day, like, the best thing that you can do is just be a good human being and just live in such a way that you help those you can help, and hopefully you inspire others to pay it forward. That's what I've come to a realization of. But there are people with bigger dreams that believe that they can become the president and they can change the country, and if it does just last for 1 or 2 generations, so be it. Then that next generation will have to make the same mistakes and repeat the same cycle, and hopefully it won't be that bad and they can go back to what the example that was set from before. Eventually they see, oh fuck, this isn't working. I don't know. That's why you have to learn from the past. What's that quote? Those who do not learn from the past are bound to repeat it. I'm going to print that out and put it on my bookcase downstairs because of one book that I own. But I mean, I own a ton of books, but one makes people go like, huh? But then I'm like, I have to learn from the past so I don't repeat it. You have to understand what went wrong. Why could they do that? Anyway, with Pops' power at his command, we couldn't overcome Teach anymore. He took everything. Oh, how I wanted to make that ingrate pay. Would you say that knave? I think I see what you mean. So this is kind of like a final memento of your Pops, huh? Yeah. Red hair put his grave not too far from here. Pops was kind of a cheapskate, He always wanted other people's drinks. He never paid the whole tab at a restaurant. But we were okay with it because we knew he was putting his entire share of the treasure into this place. That's interesting as well. In the same sense, if the world government accepted everyone they could be in the same situation as Whitebeard, one country they helped ended up being their downfall, but because they demand tribute, it hasn't happened. No, but that's what I just said. Like, the world government, fair enough, they, like I said before, they can't help everyone because they have their hands full with their own countries, but you can't just leave it at that because you know that what the tribute is used for. There's too much corruption. The tribute is too much. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, these people work too hard to pay too much. Nothing goes back in. So just one example, very, very shallow example. Just, I don't know much about, where is Cherry from? Switzerland? So here we pay X% of taxes and it is used for nothing but to a couple of handouts, and then everything gets pushed into people stealing. People in the government are buying houses overseas so that when the inevitable rebellion one day happens and they overthrow the government, they can just fly off to their homes in whatever country, wherever. But Switzerland pays even more taxes, but everything, as far as I understand, no one minds that much to pay it there because everything gets circulated and it does actually help the country. They help the people that pay end up getting it back. And if something goes wrong in their lives and they end up homeless, the government's like, you're taken care of. we're going to get you a job, we're going to help you with this and this until you're back on your feet, because that's the kind of, there's less corruption as far as I understand it. Like, our main crime in this freaking country is corruption. Obviously not, I wouldn't call it the worst crime, almost, because I think like the problem with, as I said, the gender-based violence, the rape, and the murder, that's way worse. But a lot of those issues are as bad as they are because the money that the government gets is completely mismanaged and not used to help the people. So that's my point with what I said before, where it makes sense to have a world government to some extent and have people pay tribute or taxes. But in this case, we know that the world government they don't use the money right. The people are paying way too much for what they get back. They get the bare minimum of being protected. Some places still have to rely on pirates to protect them, right? So yeah. Also, as a very shallow view, the tribute can serve as a bar to enemies getting in. But that's just like how pirates operate. Pay tribute to me, you can fly my flag, like, then the world government is no better than pirates. What was I saying? There was something else I wanted to say. I forgot. Pirates, taxes, government. I don't remember. Okay. He was putting his entire share of the treasure into this place. Oh, about money. So I wanted to just briefly talk about this concept of money and having a lot of money, and a lot of people these days thinking that having a lot of money essentially is bad. Of course, there are people who have a lot of money who are very bad, totally, but I don't think like Whitebeard, for example, he pirated. Let's just say he wasn't the worst pirate. He was actually kind of like a good pirate that just did like good but illegal business. Or whatever. So let's say he did his business, he earned a lot of money, he paid his people, and then he gave, Whitebeard in this case, gave his whole share to his, to this village, right? And then he kind of lived off the wages of the others, like drinking here, drinking there. I'm sure he kept enough. Like, you also have to keep managing your business, keep paying your people. Consider if you don't get money for 3 months, is not successful, your business isn't successful, blah, 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 blah. So, like, having money is not bad. Like, if he gave all his money away, like, I mean, like, everyone's money, like, how would you manage your ship? Like, if your ship gets broken, all these kinds of things. Like, what am I trying to say? It's just that, let me use me as an example. If today I gave all my money away, and then next week, shit, I can't pay my internet, I can't keep working, I can't keep making money, that means I can't keep giving money away. Does that make sense? So in that sense, and also if you're just always giving people money, we talked about this during the Joker movie reaction. You don't want to teach people that. You don't want to make people dependent on you either. It's like that whole thing about teach a man to fish, or give a man a fish and he eats for a day, teach a man to fish and he eats for forever. Because some people might get dependent on that and think that they can't do anything. Or, there are also bad people that they get lazy. So, like, all these things you have to take into account. Like, obviously, in the Whitebeard's case, these are not relevant. He gave it to the village, and the village managed it relatively well. It's a small village, But yeah, just all this stuff is just interesting. If you can't help yourself, you can't help others. If you need to be able to manage and maintain yourself. And I mean, how big was Whitebeard's fleet? He had to take care of himself. He had to take care of his whole fleet. I guess ideally he was hoping that when he died, what he left behind, not just in terms of money, but values, would take care of the next generation. And to some extent, he was right. Marco is taking care of the village that he now can't take care of. But, yeah. Interesting topics. Let's continue. By the way, there's that warlord named Weevil going around, calling himself Pops' son and attacking anyone related to the name of Whitebeard. Oh yeah? Is that true? I can't comment on his history with women, but this guy seems to want an inheritance. And I don't think he'll take "there isn't any" for an answer. Oh, and then talking about an inheritance, I mean, look at Knives Out. What that guy who was providing for his family turned his family into. Like, he didn't do it, but what it turned them into. The way that he took care of them. Like, stuff like that happens too. If it can happen, like I always say, if it can happen on an individual level or or within a family or within a society, it can happen in a country. I don't think he'll take "there isn't any" for an answer. I figure he'll come after me and this place soon enough. I just spat. I can see why you wouldn't want to leave then. Weevil's mother, Buchan, is a former pirate. 30-something years ago, close to 40. She would have been on the same ship as Pops. Maybe you've got another memento of his to protect. Ha! They certainly are not acting like it. If you're going to meet with Straw Hat Luffy after this, I've got a message to send along, Nekomamushi. Of course, I'm all ears. You said he's going to Wano. Yep. Wow, that's pretty. Oh, the music though. This part of the anime was probably the best part of the anime for me. The build up for Wano and the music, like, dun, 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 dun. I don't know, but I probably was, besides the very introduction to One Piece and each main character from the crew, this was probably the best part of Wano. Oi, 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 new guy. Is this your work up here, huh? You bet, boss. Is there a problem? You got that right. It's perfect with a capital P. I'm paying you a compliment, so take it, you scoundrel. Of course it's you bet. Much obliged, boss. Ya cankerous old coot. Carpenter Franoske. Come one, come all. Step up and see my blade. How cleanly she cuts this paper. One sheet becomes two. 2 into 4. 8, 16, 32, 64, as numerous as the sunset snow of Wano. The cut is perfectly sealed, no blood at all. A mere touch and it splits the skin. Eek! But witness a miracle before your eyes with the simplest dab of my toad oil. Say, I'll buy some of your toad oil. I'll take 2. You've made a wise purchase, my friends. Gather round. It was very special art and scenery. I love playing the Wano music as I read this arc. I wish I could, but then it would get blocked on YouTube. Toad oil salesman Usohachi. That's it. Very good. Lower your hips more. Your arm is too low. Are you dreaming, girl? I want to see more effort. At the rate you're going, there's no way you'll receive a summons from the Shogun's chamber in the short amount of time you want to. Woo! Yes, ma'am. Geisha Orobi. Wow. She looks so beautiful. Listen closely. The Shogun of Wano is named Kurozumi Orochi. And the officials who do his business all have ties to Kaido. Thus, they're arrogant and corrupt. But if you should harm them, the news will make it to Kaido's ears. We must not allow our existence to be known until our allies can assemble, and the preparations for battle can begin. First, you must pass yourselves off as locals and quietly go about your duties. His lordship, the magistrate, has caught the Tsujigiri. The rogue samurai will now be forced to commit seppuku. Thank goodness, his reign of terror claimed 3 nighttime victims just this month. Oh, how I hate him, that terrible Tsujigiri. The terrible Tsujigiri cut down my husband in his prime. Oh, fuck. Everyone is doing such a good job remaining incognito. Fucking Zoro. But it's not his fault because he didn't actually do it. He's been used as a scapegoat. The populace has been terrified of your carnage, Tsujigiri. Not only will this restore peace, but it seems we've caught a grave robber as well, in the midst of a pirate upheaval. 23 years ago, we lost the remains of the legendary swordsman Yuma and his blade, Shusui, Ronin, Zolojiro. But Tsujigiri, you do not look so old. Did you distract this from the thief? Ha! One wonders how pristine its bite is. In my hands I hold the great Shusui. This knife's got no hilt. Verily. What is verily again? Go. How do they end their sentence again? Zomaru goju go. I'm waiting for someone in the chat to tell me. Gozaru, thank you. Your Honor, my client is but a simple Ronin, and his alibi is he was too drunk to kill anyone. De Gozaru. If you have any samurai pride at all, verily. A seppuku blade is short and has no hilt on purpose. It's not for fighting. You don't need one. You do know how seppuku works, don't you? If you have any samurai pride at all, admit your crime and make amends with your death. My role is to lop off your head when you're done, so you don't suffer. Well, in that case, so long. Just don't wail and blubber. The samurai's true worth is in his end. We have witnesses. We have evidence. This death gives you far more dignity than you deserve. Rejoice in your seppuku. Does it say Zoro or Zolo? Viz changed it to Zolo for us at least. It says Zolo. Zolojiro. I can smell blood, and it says you're the killer. The toad oil and that scene with Otoko trying to save her dad made with Usopp's toad oil me angry at Usopp for a moment on that episode. I can understand that, but at the same time, fake products should always make you angry. It should have made you angry from the start because things like that will always happen. But Usopp and Luffy and everyone are pirates, so Zolo, very cursed. For me, it just made me sad that, like, there were so many people to be angry at. Usopp wasn't one of them. As far as I can remember. Maybe I was mad, but I don't remember it. Now I just think that that little girl should never have been in that situation, and it wasn't Usopp that put her there, you know? So I can smell blood, and it says you're the killer. Dun, 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 dun. Look how amazing he looks. So handsome. Oops. Wait. What? With the seppuku blade? I'm sorry, Kinemon. Dun dun dun! Okay, last chapter, but first I need to go pee. It is called Onward to Wano. But I must pee. Right? Yeah. Maybe when a couple of issues are out, a monthly monthly subscription would be awesome, but or at least being able to own digital copies. Good night, Vert. Sorry for the late. I think I talked too much and that's why we're not finished yet with the last chapter. But have a good sleep. You got, at least you were here for the Reverie parts, which had some moments. It depends on a lot. Maybe in 10 years, Eric will have to Eric will have will have a pub. Oh, I don't know how to say this. Shonen Jump and I'm trying to say that it would be cool if Eric July, because he's bringing out his own comics, right? But it would be cool if he could have like a Shonen Jump where a bunch of people publish the comics through his business, but he, just like how Shonen Jump works, it would be cool if that could work this way. Good night, Dark Shadow. I keep forgetting Monday streams, you know. If only I could start it an hour earlier, that'd be so great. Thank you for joining us. Oyasumi. Okay, but first I need to go quickly to the bathroom before we continue. You still have one more stream tomorrow. Yeah, but I mean, it's Sunday, Monday. So I mean, Monday stream, like it ends on Monday morning, so people have to go to work later, you know. Okay, be right back. Huzzah. I should have just said the weekday streams. Hello, Sky. How are you? Hello. I love you. She's so cute. I think half a portion of noodles didn't end up being enough because I'm a little hungry again. I'm gonna have just one more peach Haribo and then You know how earlier and in the Joker reaction I talked about sometimes the situation after a revolution or a rebellion or whatever, sometimes after it could be just as bad. So that's why a lot of people kind of just, well, at least it's bad, but it's bearable. Until it's not, and then there's a revolution, blah, blah, blah. One thing that made me think about something like that was like, someone brought up the topic of child labor in many countries that is being used by certain corporations, right? And I guess some of them don't even know. They just say, okay, you make this for us. But anyway, but a lot of them do know. Wait. Sorry, sometimes my train of thought goes like, ooh. So, a lot of these corporations use these child labor and stuff. But then, these activists obviously believe that they're doing a good thing but then they're like, then they boycott these places, or they say, oh, you should not use child labor, yada, 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 because they shouldn't. Because it's bad, and you know, you just imagine these kids in these countries working like 12-hour shifts, not being able to go to school, like all this stuff. But then, because these kids are obviously being, like they have a boss, you know, and they have, so anyway, so now the companies under pressure, they don't use the child labor anymore, right? But then those kids don't have jobs, don't have food, and then some of them get the boss that owns these child labor slaves or whatever, they end up selling them because now they're a liability. Now they're not doing work. He has mouths to feed, and he just sells them, and they become human trafficked. Like, this is stuff that happens. So it's just so scary to think that you want to do a good thing, and you might have the control to make a corporation stop using child labor because that's bad. But you don't have the power to now go to that country and save all those kids from being human trafficked or whatever. When you think about shit like that, it becomes so, making moves. That's why I said before, it takes, to be a leader, to be the person that really can make these changes and do these great things, you have to be so on another level. Like, I can't imagine, how do you operate when you want to do a good thing, and then you do a good thing, but then you cause harm as well in a different way, and it's just like, oh my God, what is life? Okay. At sea, New World. Reverie. Kings from all over the world. Oh, and they say the star of the show this time is the Ryugu Kingdom. Neptune and his children are making the kingdom's first appearance in 200 years. 1.5 billion berries. They're saying Shirahoshi got major cheers at Red Port. That's a big step forward. Yeah, looking at my boy Luffy, looking great with the 1.5 under his name. Just, still just Luffy having his Onigiri. Yum, 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 yum. She went up to the surface. Wimpy Hoshi's getting a lot tougher. Yoa Hoshi. Right? I keep forgetting how he said her name. It says your grandpa was her personal escort, Luffy. Oh. Just OH. Dot. Oh. Baby! Baby! Blah, blah, blah. Look at his face. Blah, 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 blah. With that tongue hanging out, I can't imagine him saying BB sounds like that. Blah, blah. Why? You're even more lovely than you were before, my princess. Sorry, I made an angry voice at first because his face looks angry there at the top. Like, who is that? For me? Move it. Who is he talking to? Baby, wow, that's great. It's been forever since we saw her. And that, when I started reading that, I thought I was still in Sanji's voice. I need to look before I read. It says here, a mingling courtyard. Look at the pictures of all the royals and their guards. Hey, if there's Rosas there, then ... Yes, it's Viola. Paul. The acorn guy. Rebecca. Sai. Look at all these people we know. Ooh, all of the princesses getting together and talking about me, I bet. And they're all talking about Luffy. Keep dreaming, Sanji. Well, it's nice to dream. Look here, Chopper. Whoa! What's up, Choniki? It's Dr. Reed. She hasn't kicked the bucket yet. Yeah! No. Don't cut that out, Chopper. Hey, I wasn't done reading the articles on the other side. Now the paper's all cut up. And the two of them just giggling to themselves. Wait, is this an article about Kaido? And Big Mom is... What? I can't read it. Sanji, Chopper, give those pieces back. I'm glad to know they're all doing well. Once we've gone around the world, we should pay them all a visit again. Yes, all in good order. How is the transponders now doing, Luffy? Oh, I forgot. Hello, this is Luffy speaking. Luffy speaking. Come in. Nope, no response. Forget it. Let's just keep going. Wow, look at Nami. She looks so beautiful. Well, I'd love to keep us moving forward. But I'm getting a really bad feeling from these wave patterns unique to Wano. I've never seen anything like them. The wind gets stronger the closer we get, and the waves only get taller. The way these waves are rolling can't just be from wind currents. Look at the octopus behind them. They're not noticing it. But the thing is, Brooke, what? Not only is the sea menacing, but just look at the weather back there. It's probably best to avoid the storm. Shall we hang back for now? Why would you say that, Brooke? Come on, let's go to Wano. And why would you deliberately drag your crew into danger, Luffy? Kinemon did warn us, as I will explain on the snail when you approach. Entrance will be perilous. Foul weather ceaselessly swirls about the nation. Ceaselessly swirls. The waves churn and the tides come and go rapidly. What? The weather's always bad? So we have no choice but to go through it? Tako-san is my favorite crewmate. If the samurai are mighty and it's hard to get in, no wonder it's a closed nation. Ew. Bomp. What is that thing? It's an octopus. Ew. Boom, boom, boom. Where did it get on the ship? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Both her eyes. Huh? Boom, boom. Ah, a school of fish. They're koi fish? Oh, this was so amazing in the anime. I loved it so much. Why are there koi in the ocean? Aren't they freshwater fish? How can they survive? Why do you think logic applies to these monster koi fish? Hey, Sanji, do koi fish taste good? They do if you wash them in hot water and serve them chilled. And there's koi koku, where you stew it in miso paste. They're also good as tempura and simmered in sweet soy sauce. Sounds good. Let's celebrate meeting up with the rest of the gang with one of these. Luffy, no! Ah! Don't struggle! Of course it's struggling. Luffy! Why do you have to be like that? And that's part of why, like, Luffy's my favorite character is because there's so many things that I love about, like, fundamentally, so much that I love about his character and his beliefs and his way about going. You know, he just way about going. Like, he doesn't have beliefs that he sits down on paper or probably can put into words, but he lives by a certain way. And I love that, those fundamentals about his character. But there's tons of times where he does things or says things that frustrates me. And there's things that, oh, he would be a bitter captain if this or that or blah, blah, blah. But it none of that matters because he's Luffy and I don't always have to agree with him in order to love his character. Like, actually, that's why I love him so much, because there's just certain things where we're different. Make sense? So, yeah, that's why I love him a lot. Like, sometimes I feel like Nami and I want to scream at him. But at the end of the day, at the very core, there's just, his character is just, this is it. It's all right, Nami. He can manage on his own. Let's focus on keeping the ship safe. Yoo, boom. Jeez, what's up with this octopus? And then it's like, whoosh, boom. Just look how pure the water is. It's like a crystal clear brook on a mountainside. I don't need to see that well. Those mega huge fish below the surface are creeping me out. Wait, does that mean this is a river? This wind is so strong. Furl the sails, Carrot. Where are these koi fish going? Hang on tight. We're just along for the ride now. Is Luffy still around? Wow! What's that? Now we're in big trouble. We can't keep up with the koi. Wow. So gorgeous. Okay, you can't see it. So gorgeous. The koi are climbing the waterfall. But how? Oh, there must be a major source of fresh water at the top of these falls. That could explain why it's not seawater. Could that be the land of Wano? Sorry, I'm getting tired. Could that be the land of Wano? Luffy! Oh, he jumps up and then she says, Luffy! Phew, those kois are tough. Luffy, the ship's going to sink. Okay, don't worry. I got this. Huh? Hang on tight. And then he grabs the koi. Take us up, koi. Are you joking? No, he's not. And it's exactly because he does things like that they've come this far and that I love him so much and that I know that even if I say, oh, this frustrates me or that frustrates me, I wouldn't want to change him. Because if I change him, what if he didn't come up with that in that moment and he didn't do that? They wouldn't have made it up there. Luffy's perfect. He's not perfect in the way that he has no flaws. He's perfect in the way that his flaws, perceived flaws, make him who he is. And that, with everyone else's mix, makes them the perfect crew. We're climbing the waterfall! Oh no! We're going upstream again! It's a whirlpool! And then they get sucked into the whirlpool. Okay. Bang. What is bang? Splish. Splish. Yow! Is this Wano? Where'd everybody go? What happened to us again? Bang, it's like ta-da sound effect. Oh, thank you. Ta-da. What happened to us again? Kyo! Kyo! Whoa, hey! Hey you! Don't mess up our ship! What a huge dog. Are you fighting another animal? Wait. Dog or boar? Inu. What is a boar again? A dog is inu. And the boar is she. Only she. Inushi. What's his name again? Is it Inushi because he's a dog boar? Here comes another huge animal. Wah, wah. Kee. An animal carrying a katana? Okay, this is definitely Wano. I love their introduction to Wano is these koi carrying us up these amazing waterfalls and then a baboon with a sword. Okay. Well, that is it. Wow, look at this cover. Wow. Nami, Usopp. What flew into Usopp's face? What's that? Sanji. Zoro just eating his burger. Look at Frankie gets hit in the head. Oh, is it part of Brook? Oh, wait, is it? Because there's Brook and popcorn and juice and his head flying. And this is the colored version too. Cola, Robin walking there from behind, so chilled. Cat trying to get Luffy's sandwich. Watch out, Cat, he's gonna eat you too. Okay. And we are done. Yeah, I don't think I can do a 5th chapter, but maybe that's because of all the Reverie talk. I think when there's more action, a more action-packed chapters, we will get through them faster. Okay, so that means next week, let me just add here to my schedule. Next week we will be reading 9:11 to 9:13. 11, 12, 13. Wait, why not 14? 11, 12, 13, 14, yes. So yeah, let me just quickly end the video here. I will just say goodbye to you guys. Obviously, we'll do a little bit of a chill and chat to end. But if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry I forgot to do timestamps. Last time I think I did them, but now I forgot. So I'll see if I can make time to go through but it's so difficult when I can't see, like I'm reading, like I don't know when I start one chapter, I'll have to listen to my video. And like, I have too much to do, I can't listen to myself again. After reading this for 2 hours and 8 minutes, I can't then listen to myself for 2 hours and 8 minutes when I could be doing other things like Tomorrow's 3. Because I will be streaming again tonight. We're going to watch Classroom of the Elite, Stone Ocean. We're ending Stone Ocean Part 2. And we're reading Attack on Titan manga that we couldn't get to on Friday. Pokemon Go. Yes, I can Pokemon Go instead. But no, I'm not going to Pokemon Go tomorrow because Honk is going golfing, so I'll be home alone. Okay. See you next time. Bye.